Hi, everyone. I'm Joshua Sobrin, and I'm really happy to have this opportunity to share some of the science that we've been working on with the South Pole Telescope. I want to start by acknowledging the state of the field. Our understanding of the components, history, and physics of our universe has dramatically improved over the past few decades, but there are still many unanswered, important questions that scientists are debating. For example, we know that we live in an expanding universe, but what was the nature of that expansion during its earliest stages? Scientists often talk about an expansion starting with a brief period called inflation, but we've yet to detect any evidence of the strong gravitational waves that would have been generated during a period like that. Or understanding when the first stars, galaxies, and clusters began to form, and the physics that drove that structure formation. Are our models of dark energy and gravity compatible with those observables? And we have a standard model of cosmology called ΛCDM, which amazingly seems to explain a wide variety of phenomena with only 6 unique parameters. But in recent years, as our measurements have become more and more precise, we've seen deepening cracks and divergences in the parameter estimates from different observables. Is that potentially a sign of new physics or the need for a different model? So although we seem to know a lot, there's still a lot of work to be done. And the remarkable thing is that deeper temperature and polarization measurements of the CMB provide a path forward toward answers on each of these fronts. And for performing those measurements, the South Pole is the best developed site on the planet. The cold, dry, high-altitude environment provides excellent atmospheric conditions, and the polar location provides 24-hour access to the same excellent observing fields throughout the year, allowing for long integration times on the same patches of sky, much like a long exposure photo. And the 10-meter diameter SPT itself, along with its current receiver, SPT-3G, is a magnificent instrument designed for low noise, low systematic, high resolution imaging of the CMB. This is a map made from 2 years of 3G observations. Our main survey field is about 30 times larger than this, but I've zoomed into just a small fraction of it because I want to really illustrate my main point, which is that SPT is able to address such a diverse set of science questions because SPT's combination of depth, resolution, and frequency coverage results in maps like these with a diverse combination of signals. The first feature I'll point out are these degree scale rippling signals, which are often referred to as the primary anisotropies. And measuring those anisotropies is crucial for validating our explanation of inflation. All of the most compelling, simple models of inflation predict that gravitational waves should have left a unique B-mode polarization imprint on the CMB. By combining degree and arc-minute scale data sets with our colleagues in Bicep Array, we aim to hopefully either rule out or detect a large class of inflation models. A detection of primordial gravitational waves through B-modes would provide the first direct evidence of quantum gravity and probe physics at energy scales of grand unified theories. In addition, measures of those same temperature and polarization anisotropies play a central role in understanding the current tensions in the ΛCDM model. Here on the right, you see how estimates from several CMB and other local universe surveys compare for the Hubble constant and the amount of structure in the local universe. The constraints from 3G shown in blue include data from only half a year of observation, and have already provided a useful consistency check with Planck, which currently dominates the CMB constraints. With the upcoming 2019-2020 data release, we anticipate that the constraints from 3G will either equal or surpass those from Planck, and hopefully better motivate whether extensions to the model, such as new particle species, are necessary and actually helpful for alleviating these tensions. In addition to those larger scale features, we also see these dark and bright spots in SPT data. Those darker spots are shadows in the CMB caused by galaxy clusters. On the right, plotted in green, you can see how the upcoming 2019-2020 3G sample is going to extend our understanding of cluster abundance out to higher redshift and lower mass ranges, a regime that's largely inaccessible by optical and infrared surveys currently, thereby tightening cosmological constraints. And those bright points were emissive sources, largely made up of active galactic nuclei and dusty star-forming galaxies. Shown here is a sub-millimeter galaxy discovered by SPT that dates back to 13 billion years old, only about 5% into our universe's timeline. In addition, SPT has been leading research in the field of time-variable millimeter wave astronomy and multi-messenger science, with the first transient search in CMB data being conducted with SPT-Pol and the first real-time transient search system operating in a CMB experiment with SPT-3G. I'll note that this subfield has been identified as one of the 4 leading science cases for CMBS4, and SPT has been on the pioneering edge of its development. And finally, SPT will continue to participate in EHT observations of black holes, which has really caused a lot of positive excitement around the world. Thank you.